Hey guys, how's everyone doing? As you can see from the title of this video, is it game over for the Wii U? I just wanted to make a quick video just to discuss the state of Nintendo's latest console, the Wii U. There's been a lot of conversation on the internet obviously about this subject, and I have mentioned my opinions before, but I wanted to just go a bit more in depth and just really put my opinion out there and get some feedback from you guys and see what you all think as well. Quick disclaimer for anyone who watches this video and has never seen my channel, doesn't know me at all. I am not a Nintendo fanboy, and equally I do not hate Nintendo, and I am not in any way whatsoever trying to slag Nintendo off. I'm just trying to put my opinion out there. It's just my opinion, that's all it is, and I just wanted to give some constructive feedback, that's all. And just to show you how big a Nintendo fan I am, I'll now show you my awesome Super Nintendo collection. Okay, so hopefully that's given you an idea of me as a person and the way I am with Nintendo. As you can see from that short clip there, I'm a big fan of Nintendo. I think they're a fantastic company, they always have been. But I've got to say, for me personally, Nintendo haven't been Nintendo since the Super Nintendo. They really haven't. They've just sort of stumbled along. And yes, the N64 and the GameCube are excellent consoles. No disputing that, they are really good consoles. But they're not on the same level as the NES and the Super Nintendo in any way, shape or form. They have a select few games that are worth owning for those systems. The NES and the Super Nintendo have hundreds. The Super Nintendo in particular, there's just absolutely hundreds and hundreds of fantastic titles. Even the bad titles aren't really that bad and are quite playable. The N64 really, I mean, you only get like obviously the obvious ones like Conker, Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and a couple of others. You know, the GameCube as well. There are only a handful like the Metroid games, Zelda, Mario Sunshine, which even I know a lot of people don't like. I personally love the game. Mario Kart, of course, but that's on everything. So it's more the Nintendo key franchises. I just feel that after Super Nintendo and after the whole debacle with the CD add-on for the Super Nintendo and Nintendo screwing Sony and Sony managing to get one up on Nintendo or coming out with a PlayStation on their own and basically owning the market for ever since 1994, 95, Sony have been in a really strong position and Nintendo just trying to play catch up. And I know people will probably disagree with that, and that's fine, but that's just how I see it. So yeah, obviously the Wii, when that came out, financially from a business standpoint, brilliant system, the best selling system of this previous generation. Nintendo were just, I don't want to say lucky, but they saw a gap in the market. They went for it, and as always innovated, and they absolutely nailed it, and they made an absolute shit ton of money. So from a business point of view, if you're a shareholder, it's fantastic. Obviously for us gamers, it wasn't so fantastic. Again, like the N64 and the GameCube, there are games on the Wii that are worth owning and playing. However, they're not like a massive amount. There's not a real, instant like, oh, you got to have this, this and this and this. But there are some good games on the system. I mean, the GoldenEye remake for one is one of my personal favourites. I absolutely love that. But the system just didn't click at all. Outside of Wii Sports, really, it's difficult to find games that are worth playing. There are, as I say, there are a few, but there aren't many. It's not like the Super Nintendo days. So when the Wii U was coming out, if you look at my previous videos on my channel, leading up to the Wii U launch, when the launch happened, and following the launch when I did my Week with the Wii U video, you'll know that I was really, 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 really hyped for the Wii U. I couldn't wait for the system. And no matter how many people said to me, hold off, don't buy it, wait and see, because it probably isn't going to work out, I was adamant that the console was going to be fantastic. I was really impressed with the gamepad. I thought, yeah, this is another innovation from Nintendo. They're doing the right thing. You know, it's got a lot of potential, and I still believe it's got a lot of potential if used correctly by developers. And I really thought it was going to go places. So I took the plunge. I spent around about £650 on launch for a Wii U and quite a big stack of games. Please see my unboxing video, you'll see exactly what I bought at the time. And I have to say, initially I was really impressed. I absolutely, to this day, love the Wii U hardware. I think the machine itself looks good. Nintendo aren't really known for making beautiful looking machines, but they always look functional. The gamepad is absolutely fantastic. It's responsive, it's really comfortable in the hand. I really like it a lot. I do find that after several hours of play, it can become a little bit uncomfortable. I did find it wearing on me a little bit, but it's still overall a fantastic bit of kit. Now, despite that, the problem I have, and the fundamental problem I have that a lot of people are having with the Wii U, is the lack of support for software. Now, your console isn't anything without games. If you don't have the games, your hardware won't sell. That's always been the case, and it's quite obvious. I am really, yeah, in fact I am. I'm angry at Nintendo because I bought this console last year at launch, and it's now August 2013. We're nearly a year into the life cycle of the Wii U, and there are no games being released worth buying. And the one thing that always gets thrown at me when I say that from fanboys is the same old arguments of, oh, but they've got Wind Waker HD, they've got Mario Kart 8, they've got the new Donkey Kong game, they've got Mario 3D World. And I'm always like, yeah, that's fantastic, but they ain't now, are they? You can't go out and buy them now, you can't go out and buy them in a month's time. Mario Kart 8 isn't even coming out to 2014, which is ridiculous. Mario 3D World comes out at Christmas, and all it is just a bleeding sequel to a 3DS game. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It really shows to me that Nintendo aren't making an effort. They don't know what they're doing, and they're just taking the piss out of the fans, really. You know, they know, because they listen to that vocal minority of fanboys and fangirls that will support Nintendo to the hilt no matter what they do, no matter how many mistakes they make. They will never ever criticise Nintendo. And unfortunately, because they listen to that minority, they're not going down the right path. They don't know what they're doing, and they're messing up the Wii U, and it is going to die if they don't get their arse in gear and sort the machine out. It's not a difficult thing. I've always said that all they had to do from day one was to garner that third-party support, which was a little difficult because of the Wii, but they could have done it. They could have done a Microsoft and just thrown money at it, and they needed to get like all the big third parties on board so that all of the games going forward that were cross-platform on 360 and PS3 were on the Wii U and looked slightly better on the Wii U, and hopefully also took advantage of the gamepad to make it a reason to buy the machine to play the Wii U version over the PS3 and the 360 versions. And then they could take their time working on their own titles, and we wouldn't be so worried about how long it's taken for the Mario games to come out. Although, having said that, they should have had a Mario game at launch. It's just logical, or a Zelda, or something to keep the core happy. That's common sense. And they could have ridden that wave up until the end of this year when the new PS4 and the Xbox One come out, and they could have probably got quite a few people on board who would have then waited on the Xbox and PlayStation until they dropped in price in, say, a year and a half's time. And that way, Nintendo would get a good market share and be, you know, a good, nice lead on the other two console manufacturers. So I really don't understand why they have done what they've done. They just don't seem to be bothered. They honestly don't. They seems like they've given up, it feels to me. And I know Adam Sessler has said that he believes that both Reggie and Satoru Iwata should be fired. And it may sound harsh, but I actually think he's right. I think they need to clean house at Nintendo Japan. I know Reggie's in America, but he's obviously one of the big, you know, faces of Nintendo, and I love Reggie. I think Reggie's brilliant. He's a fantastic frontman for the company. He does a great job, but even he is having trouble trying to justify the situation the Wii U is in at the moment when you watch him in interviews. And so I think they need to clean house, fresh start, brand new set of staff, people who understand both the Eastern and the Western markets, and they can bring it back. They can pull it from the embers. They can make the Wii U a success. However, I have said before that the ideal situation would be to say, okay, we made a mistake, we messed up with the Wii U, take the hit, scrap it off, design a brand new console which will go head to head with the PS4 and Xbox One, throw a load of money at the third parties, get them all on board so you've got the cross-platform support, and just bang out a load of really great Nintendo titles and make a proper 3D Mario, not this Mario 3D World thing, because, okay, yes, I'm sure it'll play well and it'll be fun, but it's not a proper 3D Mario, it's just a cop-out. And it's not a difficult thing to do. I know, obviously, they can't just bring a new console to market in the next 3 months. It's not going to happen in a million years. They may have to wait another year, year and a half, which could hurt them financially, I understand that. But Nintendo's got a shitload of cash. They made so much profit off the Wii. And so they really... People keep saying that Nintendo, this is their last console. No, it's not. Not at all. They could cancel the Wii U tomorrow and start work on a new console to go ahead with go head-to-head with the PS4 and Xbox One. And they could do that no problem at all. They'll take a small loss of money, obviously. They'll be in a bit of trouble there, but they've got so much cash in the bank, it doesn't make any difference. They can make their money back quite quickly, and they know this as well. They keep, the Nintendo fanboys say, oh, but Nintendo are aware of the mistakes they've made and they've acknowledged these. And yes, they have in the previous months. Iwata has come out and said that we've made mistakes and we haven't done this and we haven't done that. But they're not rectifying the problem. They're just sitting there on their hands doing nothing. People keep saying, oh, but look at the 3DS. Well, so what? Why should we buy a console 1 year and have to wait like nearly 2 years for anything decent to come out to play on it? That is not right. Considering how much money we spend on these machines, and these machines are not cheap at all, we should not have to wait nearly 2 years for decent software to appear on a console that I have purchased. It's an absolute joke. You won't see that with the Xbox One and the PS4. They're going to have games coming out regularly. There's going to be plenty of stuff to keep people happy and content. And I know a lot of people will say to me, oh, but Nintendo have released Pikmin and they've released this and they've released that. That's fine, but those games don't interest me as a consumer, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that those games don't interest. I find Pikmin is quite a niche product anyway. I mean, it's not a mass market game at all by any means. Mario is. If they'd bought a Mario game at launch, it might have been a little bit better. I know they had the new Super Mario game, but that doesn't really count. It was, as good as it was, and it is a great game, it is just an upgraded version of the Wii game. The whole new Super Mario franchise, they are really fun games. Obviously, Nintendo games always are fun, but they're not innovating that franchise. They're not making anything out of the 2D Mario games. When you compare them to the NES games, they're not a patch on those games, in my opinion. And I'll probably get someone leave a comment going, "Oh, you prefer the NES games?" Because it'll probably be like a 15-year-old kid who never played them in the first place and thinks retro's crap, but whatever. But yeah, I really think at this point it can be saved, but I don't think they should. I think they should just scrap the Wii U off, take it as a hit, do a Virtual Boy and go, okay, we cocked up, move on, and just bring a new system to market. It's the only way forward at this point. I can't see them honestly doing anything else because they're not making any effort with the software whatsoever. And I have sold my Wii U. I was that frustrated. I got to the point where I just sat there a couple of weeks back and thought to myself, why have I actually got this system when I could sell it and get the money back? I mean, I ain't going to get the whole amount back, not even close, but I'll get a reasonable amount of cash for it. Because I looked at the games coming out and I thought, well, why do I want to buy Mario 3D World and Mario Kart 8? I'm essentially just buying these games just because I need something to play on the machine. That's not an excuse. There's no reason to buy a console at all. So also keep hold of a console. It's a depressing situation. The Wii U hardware is fantastic, and until you actually use the gamepad, you don't really quite understand how good it is. It's really, really impressive, and you can see the potential when you hold it in your hands and play on the machine. But without the software, what's the point really? I mean, all they seem content with at the moment is to fill the eShop with retro titles. Well, I've got them on cartridge, so I don't really care. It's a nice thing that they're doing that. I know they've just released Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Super Street Fighter 2. For some reason they haven't released Alpha 2, which is a bit odd, but hey. But yeah, why would I want to play them on there when I've got the cartridges? But that's me, obviously. I'm very niche in that respect because most people won't have the cartridges. I understand that. I just think that they need to pay more attention to the actual software and not the eShop. It's nice to support the eShop as well, but you have to have those core titles up front. You've got to have software. The Wii U is dying on its arse, and Nintendo are happy to let it fail. At least that's the way it appears to me. I don't see them making any effort whatsoever to resuscitate the console. And if that's the case, then they need to just say so. They need to come out and apologise and say, look, we made a big mistake. Anyone who's bought a Wii U, we're going to give you either a voucher towards the new console, highly unlikely, or when you buy the new console that we're going to bring out in 12 months time, they give you like a free game, or they give you some discounts off eShop stuff like they usually do. That would be a nice gesture, and they can sweep it under the rug. It can be part of history, and it can sell for thousands of pounds in the future as a retro oddity. But yeah, they need to just make a decision. Are they going to get off their arse and get developers on board and throw some money at third parties and get software running for the new future of the Wii U, or are they going to do the sensible thing and scrap the console, start afresh, bring out a brand new system to compete with Microsoft and Sony in the next generation of high definition, or even 4K. I still find that a bit of a joke, but hey, graphics. Yeah, I just want to know what Nintendo's plans are. I want them to do a video and explain to us, the consumer, what their plans are going forward, because at the moment they ain't doing much. Animal Crossing doesn't do it for me. So anyway, guys, what are your opinions on the Wii U? If you've owned a Wii U, how do you feel? Have you still got the console? Have you sold it? Are you confident about the future? And I also want not only comments down below, but if people could do video responses, that would be absolutely brilliant, because I love to watch those. But I would really like everybody who watches this video, whether you're subscribed to me or not, and you've just came across the video randomly, please vote on this video to give me an idea of what people feel about the Wii U. If you feel that the Wii U is failing, and like myself feel that they need to scrap it and start again because it has not been supported the way it should be, then I want you to thumb up the video. If of course you disagree with me and you think I'm talking out my arse and Nintendo are on the right track and that they're going to turn it around in the year 2014, then thumb down this video. And this will be the only time I'll ever ask anyone to thumb down a video, of course, but I think that's the fairest way. So if you agree with me, thumb up the video. If you disagree with me, thumb down the video, and then we can see for definite what the stats are and how people feel. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all again soon.